Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be, as you can see by the title of the video, I am going to be showing you guys my plan that I am going to be using to save 10K in a year for 2026. So what I've gathered is most people think that you need 6 figures to save 10K, but what if you can do it pretty much on a regular income, which is totally possible. So that is what your girl is going to do following the rest of the year. Between the bills, groceries, gas, family expenses, and just life happening in general, saving money can feel like the last thing that you can ever do. But this year I'm going to be doing something different. I'm creating a realistic plan to save 10K in 2026. And I am going to be doing it while working a 9-to-5, managing a busy household, doing my side hustle. And I am going to be showing you guys exactly how I am planning to do it step by step. So the reality of this is what I have to get my brain into. Because if we're talking numbers, the most important thing is it comes down to small habits and consistency. So, and that's what I need to make sure that I'm focusing on, not being perfect. If I mess up, don't give up. Just kind of I don't even think it is like starting over. It's just revamp, recollect, and just keep moving. Just small money moves that add up over time. No huge paychecks. We got this. So I'm going to go ahead and break down the $10,000 goal on what I'm going to do. So because I'm not even gonna lie, when I hear 10,000, it sounds huge. But when you actually break it down, it becomes a little bit more manageable. So we're gonna take a look at how I broke this down. Okay, so here is what it actually looks like. So to save 10,000 in a year, you would need to do $833 per month, or you can do $192 per week, which doesn't actually seem bad, or $27 per day. Now I used to would have been like, yeah, $27 per day is not that bad when I used to just spend stuff all the time, but now a little bit better. I'm not even gonna say a little better. I am good. I am at my best when it comes to not just splurging and spending money every single day. So this right here would not work for me. And this would not work for me because that is a little bit more than I can do. But this one right here would be perfect, but I would have to actually be pretty strategic to be able to do this one too. And like I said, on a tight budget, I think this one would probably be the best. So instead of trying to save it all in one way, I'm using multiple strategies to build this, over time. So here is going to be my strategies that I am personally using to reach this 10K goal. If you want to steal them. If you want to use them, tweak them, do whatever you want to do. So the first one I'm going to be doing is pretty much savings challenges. Now, one of my favorite ways is this way. So this is my first top goal that I'm going to, and it makes money feel less boring to save, and it makes it feel more like a game. So for example, I will be using my alpha savings challenge, which will give me about a savings of, if I can complete this will give me a savings of about 5K by the time I'm finished. So that is 5K. So if I can actually complete this twice in a year, or even close to it, this will be my 10,000 here. All right. But if I get close, I don't have to finish it. If I continue to be consistent and not stop, I will be very, very proud of myself. Now, another one that I'm going to be actually adding to that is my 26 biweekly. And this is a new one that I just made. And this one right here will give me about $1,040 for cash. And then the thing about these is that I can just, once I fill it up, I can reuse it and start over again. And then I will be doing also some other mini savings that I have. So those will be just random. And doing sinking funds, like I'm not filling them up, like taking money in there and then taking it back out. Doing sinking funds will also help me too, because think of this. If I save money for things that I know that's coming up, that will make me less to use a credit card, or that'll make me less of going back in my savings channel just to pull the money out. So I'll already have the money set aside for like breaks, or for like Aiden's clothes, or for like summer camp. So I already have that money available. All right, because even saving like $5, $10, or $20 at a time adds up faster than what you actually think. And I've shocked myself by doing that, seeing how fast that has added up for me. Oh, and another thing is saving for a vacation. Vacation is a big one that people spend a lot on, and I learned my lesson with this one. So I will be saving for this also. So that is another thing about that. All right, so let's move into my next strategy. So my next one will be cash stuffing, and I know this one is a no-brainer. It's like, duh, Tina. But cash stuffing has actually helped me become a lot more intentional with my money. So when I physically see like the cash in my cash wallet, it reminds me that every dollar has a freaking purpose. And honestly, I don't want to spend my money. Like, I just did a cash stuffing and I haven't spent anything. I did get some groceries, so I have to put that 140. I need to write that down actually. So that was on 3/12, so 140. And that was at Kroger's. So that's, I can't remember the change, but 140, it's a little bit over. It was like 139 something, so I can still go with that. So we got 123.34. Make sure I don't forget that. All right, and then the extra money that I have left over here, I just pretty much put that towards savings. So the small savings will go to like my sinking funds, which I was just talking about, how those are help save money. And then also like extra to savings challenges and emergency savings. And for my cash budget stuffing, I use these two books here, my track book and my shopping. This right here, I track my expenses with this. This one right here, this is so valuable for my grocery shopping. I go in, I get what I need on this list, and I don't put anything else in there. Or if I do a pickup, I can just do pickup, because sometimes Kroger's will do a lot of like $20 off of pickup orders, and I will pick up an order for that. I'll just go in and get my produce, because sometimes they don't be picking the best produce, but it is what it is. But I'll get 20 bucks off my groceries. All right, so the next one is extra money wins. So this is another one that I thought about to do. All right, so a lot of people overlook this one, and I've overlooked it myself, but extra money. So you can do things like rolling coin. So what I do is, like today, I rolled my coin. I do have a little bit left. I got to put them back in my coin boxes here. But I ended up having $28, and this was from the cash that I spent from here. So what I do is I just pretty much put it in this pocket here. And when it gets full, I'll put it in there. And then when these get full, I'll take it and I'll roll it, which I did today. So I didn't realize I got lucky today. I ended up having $28 from my coin, and it was enough to actually do my letter C. So I ended up doing letter C. And the next time I do the next letter, 40 or 100, I'll have to put it back here because I won't have room to put it in the pocket. But that's what that big pocket's back there for. All right, another thing is cashback apps. I know a lot of people do these, but think of it as pretty much like if you have a Walmart gift card and you're taking 20 or 50 bucks to go get groceries, when you can actually take that Walmart gift card by redeeming your rewards, and then that $50 can go towards actually debt, or it could go towards your savings. So you can just utilize those just like real money, but you still have to use it with whatever place you choose from. But that's how that pretty much works. You can do like Rakuten. You get cash back off of that. They send you a check. You can also do where they send the money to PayPal. Kroger's do that for Cash App. You can send the money to PayPal, and that's real actual money. Dollar General does cash back, but they only have it on a card. So you have to scan in the store to use it towards purchases. You have Mercari. You have, what else? Oh, you got Ibotta, Receipt Pal. It's so many of them. So I would, like, if I was you, if you're really strategic and you really need to figure out something, go like on YouTube and see, and like Google, not Google, but search the app to see how people like it, how they've been using it, and then use that and utilize that. The next thing is side hustle money. So if you got something you're good at or you like to do, or something you want to share with somebody, create a side hustle. That extra money that you have, you can use that to pay extra on bills. You can use that to save up, or you can just use that money to go on like your trips, pay for school, care for your kids, and it's just so much other things that you can actually do. Some people make PDFs, digitals, stickers, go on Etsy. Some people are Etsy, I don't know how Etsy is a lot different than when I was on Etsy when it first came out. All right, so next thing is selling things around the house. Another man's junk is another man's treasure. I actually started selling some of my old purses that I had, and I don't use them. I wanted to hold on to them, but sometimes you just have to let things go, and that is hard for me. But I did, and I sold some of my things, and I still have some other things that I need to get rid of, and I can use that for putting towards my goal to my 10K in the year of 2026. I need to put 2026. Be specific. All right, next is tax refunds. This is a big one. You can just take this, put this in your SYAA, SYSA. What is an SYAA? SYAA, take that to pay off debt, pay off bills, things that you need to get. And then that could also make it where you're not paying interest on like your credit cards or like a loan, and you can take your money and put more towards your goal of 10K in a year. And then also if you get birthday money. My birthday is at the end of the year, so long time. So birthday money, some people get real good birthday money checks and you can take that and save that, and that is another thing that you can actually add to your 10K savings in a goal. And these are the things that I will look into doing, and most of them I do so, but I was just giving you some ideas of what I got. So instead of spending that money, just tell yourself, I'm putting as much of it as possible towards savings. Okay, so just tell yourself that. Next is spending less, and I'm doing a really good job on this. So that's another big part of saving money, is simply just spending less. So that's that's what I told myself. I was like, just don't spend as much, Tina, and get the things that you need, and you can save towards your 10K goal. So that this year I'm focusing on things like waiting 48 hours before I buy something, and I had that in my other video, the 48-hour rule. Cooking more meals at home, bringing my breakfast. Now I do stop at Chick-fil-A if I do get a free rewards, or if I do have points. Now I do stop and get the free biscuit. Usually I'll have to pay like 36 cents extra for cheese, but that 36 cents for cheese won't break me, okay? And just avoiding like emotional spending and stuff like that when I'm sad or when I'm happy or whatever, whatnot. Just, it's okay to reward myself, but sometimes I get this emotional spending and I just go overboard. So those are some strategies that I will be actually using towards my goal. So the next thing that I have that I thought of was my personal plan. So my goal isn't necessarily to save, like I told you, $833 per month. So instead, I am going to be focused on consistent progress. So pretty much some months I might save $200. Some months, if I can, I'll save $400, and some of it I'll save $600. And other months I might save more or I might save less. So I want to keep this pretty much open. I don't want to say like every single week I have to do 192, because that's going to get stressful, because inside, I know I say like it's not a big deal, but it's going to make you feel like a failure, because you're going to be like, well, I'm not setting my goal, and that can set me back for not wanting to continue. But over the course of the year, these small deposits will keep building towards my 10K goal. So even if it's not 200, it could be 150. I'm still proud of that. So these are just all of the things that I'm just kicking into place, like brainstorming on what I'm going to do. So, like I said, I need to make sure that I remember that saving money, I need to make sure that I'm not trying to be perfect with it. I need to make sure that I keep in mind that it is about building better money habits over time. So the $5 to $10 to $20, I'm still moving forward. Like I said, if I can't make this, I'm good. That's what matters. So this is what I will be doing to save 10K. this year for my savings journey. Let me know if you are going to start trying to save also. And I will be sharing updates along the way so you can see like what works, what doesn't, and how the progress is going. So I will be sharing that. And like I said, if you are trying to save money also this year too, please comment below and tell me what are your savings goals, how much you're trying to save. Are you trying to save 10K, 5K, 1K, 2K, 3K? Because we're all on this journey together. We are all learning together. And give me some pointers, some tips, guys, in the comments. I'd like to know what you guys think. And we are all done with this quick video. And then, like I always say, guys, until next time, peace.